Well, cruising in the Mediterranean is some of the best cruising you can do, and I have been so fortunate to be able to sail in the Mediterranean a few times now, and look forward to sailing it more in the future. But if you are headed to the Mediterranean for a summer cruise, you are most likely going to call on Naples. Naples is the third largest city in Italy, and it's one of the biggest cruise ports in all the Mediterranean. It is just a staple on cruise itineraries, especially those that visit any part of Italy. I was fortunate to visit there in May of 2022 on board Celebrity Beyond, actually on the Celebrity Beyond's fourth sailing ever, and I got to spend the entire day exploring the Naples area. There's a lot to do in Naples. Of course, you have Capri nearby. You can take a day excursion over there. Of course, Pompeii and Mount Vesuvius are just right near Naples itself. You can also go down the coast a little bit, down to Sorrento. You can go down to the Amalfi Coast. But in this video, I want to show you my cruise excursion for May of 2022. And at the end, I'll tell you a little bit more about that, how I booked it, how much it cost, the time, and everything like that. So yeah, let's get into my cruise shore excursion in Naples, Italy. Finally made it to a farm just outside of Sorrento. I'll turn around here, you can see Sorrento just down the hill here from us. We're gonna check this place out and then we'll actually be heading over into the town of Sorrento. It's 10:30 in the morning right now. We'll be heading over to Sorrento for lunchtime and have some time on our own to explore the town.
Cheese called treccia or fruit di latte. It's a fresh cheese. To make this cheese, we begin the day, the evening before. We put in the milk, rain it, and we leave this milk stay on site in a controlled temperature between 35 to 38 grades. After 12 hours, we have this thing called pasta of mozzarella.
Now we're in the town of Sorrento. We have about an hour and 10 minutes to explore, walk around. It's a small town, but it's one of the more popular towns here on the coast of Italy. So we'll check it out, take a look around, and then when we're done here, we're gonna head over to Pompeii. So I've now walked all the way down to the water here in the town of Sorrento. And you can see the end right here of the Sorrento coast, and just on the other side over there begins the Amalfi coast. We're not going to go down there today, but I do want to show you what a beautiful view this is here. Just how beautiful the Naples area is, this part of Italy. Right there in the center of your screen right now, you're looking at Mount Vesuvio, or Vesuvius, which is the volcano that of course destroyed Pompeii in 79 AD. We're going to be going over to Pompeii and looking at some of those ruins here in just a bit. So with Vesuvio there behind me, I did want to say that Naples is the third largest city in Italy, behind of course Rome and then Milan. About 1 million people live there, and interestingly, as we were coming over here, they did say, the tour guide told us on the bus, that they do have evacuation plans if Mount Vesuvius ever were to erupt again, and they're trying to work on their prediction systems such that they hope that they can make an early enough prediction, but they do have plans in place to get folks out of the area should Mount Vesuvius erupt again, because we saw how, or we didn't see, but we know from history just how devastating that can be when that happens. So across the street here is a high school. A lot of students just left, but it's 90 degrees today in Sorrento, and if you notice, all the windows are open, and a lot of the windows around the city and all the buildings are open, indicating they don't have as much air conditioning as we might enjoy in America and other parts of the world, so it does make you grateful. Welcome to Pompeii. We're just outside the ruins right here. We're going to go in just a minute, and I think we have about a couple of hours before we head back to the ship here. It's late afternoon now. Pretty tired after our visit to Sorrento this morning and all the transit it took to get down there. But I'm very excited to get in here to Pompeii. I've been here before and really enjoyed it, so I'm going to really enjoy showing you guys it this afternoon. They gave us this little earpiece to wear so I can hear the tour guide. So let's go in now and check out the ruins of Pompeii. So a cool thing about the streets here in Pompeii, see how they go downhill here. These are all paved with lava stones. You can actually still see the chariot marks. So the chariots would come down this portion of the street, and the pedestrians would walk up and down the streets on both sides of the sidewalk here, because the sewage, no underground sewage in Pompeii, so the sewage would actually flow freely through the street, so folks didn't want to walk in the street. So only the chariots used the street, and then this was the crosswalk. So they would literally use these stepping stones to get across the street. So I guess this is one of the original crosswalks in a city. So you see a lot of these tables around Pompeii. This would have actually been sort of like fast food, the street being right over here. They would put out food here, and folks would come up and buy it. So we saw the original crosswalk, and I guess this is the original fast food window.
Under the weight of the stones.
So back behind me here, you can see Mount Vesuvius, and I'm standing in the middle of what would have been the square of Pompeii. So the mountain did erupt. There were 6 pyroclastic flows that did bury the city of Pompeii in as much as 27 feet of ash. So there are plasters that they have on display here. They had like 30 or 40 plasters, I think, that they found of people trying to escape. And I showed you one that was in a case back there in one of the rooms. Folks just trying to escape, but of course the gases and the heat alone was 400 degrees Celsius. So people were literally just dying instantly from inhaling such insane heat. They were just suffocating. It's kind of eerie just to see Mount Vesuvius back there in the background. And actually the mountain doesn't even look like it used to, because it blew, the volcanic blast blew so much of the mountain away, the volcano actually collapsed. So what you see as Mount Vesuvius today is actually the newer volcano. So that was a full day there in Naples, and we got to see a lot. Of course, we went to Sorrento. We also went to Pompeii and saw the ruins there. We did leave the port area sharply at 8 a.m. and we didn't arrive back until after 5 p.m. So a very long day, a lot to see, and The drive down to Sorrento actually can be a long one. It actually took us 3 hours the day that I visited to get there. There was a lot of traffic. We actually had to take a detour, and then when we got on the detour, we realized everyone's taking this detour. So it actually took us, I think I looked back on my video footage and it was time-stamped. We were leaving the port right at 8 a.m. and we didn't get to the little farm where we went to have the cheese and wine sampler until probably just after 11 a.m. So right at 3 hours there of commute time to get from the port of Naples down to Sorrento. Now, it doesn't always take that long. There is another way to go that's quicker, but just know it could be a lengthy day of bus rides getting back and forth between the sites there in Naples. It is a big area. There are a lot of people that live there, and make sure you give yourself plenty of time if you're going on a private excursion. I was on with the cruise line, so of course we all know if you book a short excursion with the cruise line, they have that guarantee that they're going to wait on you. But if you are on a private excursion, make sure that you are back in plenty of time so that you don't miss your ship. Now, speaking of a cruise sponsored shore excursion, that's exactly what this was. I did book this through Celebrity Cruises out ahead of my cruise, and it cost me $153. So this was, again, 2022 prices. Not sure what it is today. And that excursion was called Taste of Sorrento and Pompei, and it was a small group excursion. They call it a small group excursion, but we were still on one of the big coach buses with quite a few people. But it was nice to have time in Sorrento to walk around. There's a lot of shopping to do there. It was also lunchtime, so we could grab lunch and get food. It was a really overcast day. The day I went, I don't know if you saw in the video when I was narrating there some, I was just so tired because I had just flown 2 days prior, flown overnight to Rome to get on the Beyond, and then this was our first port of call, so I was jet lagged severely. But it was still great to be able to see all the sights. Such a beautiful place. Highly recommend visiting Sorrento, maybe going a little bit further south if you visit Naples. I have been to the Amalfi Coast, and you absolutely do not want to miss the Amalfi Coast. Now, you could spend a whole day at Pompeii. There is just so much to see there. No matter what you do, I know you're going to enjoy Naples. So I hope this video was helpful to you planning your day when your cruise ship visits Naples, Italy. If you enjoyed this video, please go down below, give me a thumbs up. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel because I always have more cruise content just around the corner, more cruise port content as well, including more of Europe, more of the Mediterranean, and, well, cruise ports all around the world. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next adventure.